Good morning and happy Monday. It is PJ Monday. I still haven't gotten dressed yet. And I do have an intention to do so because I'm going to go to yoga, but maybe I'll do it in my PJs. Who knows? Anything's possible. Happy Monday and welcome back to Room for Sunshine. We're talking about friendship today because I woke up this morning in this reminded state that I would not be where I am today if I didn't have the support of so many incredible friends who I have had throughout my life, I still have in my life. And the best lesson that I have learned over the past few years when it comes to friendships is that the best friends, the greatest friendships, are the ones where you genuinely see and recognize that the person is a mirror of you and a reflection of who you are rather than a competition, or rather than seeing them in a way that it ignites jealousy or pain or insecurity. And this is hard. This is hard because naturally, as beings, we use other people sometimes for inspiration, but also frequently to try and go up against. We're in this success-oriented society where even your coworkers, like you might be friends with your coworker, but secretly you're kind of like, but I want the raise first. Or you have that friend who is like going out on all the dates and then you're sitting at home by yourself and you're like, yeah, but maybe you shouldn't go on that date. And it's sort of like you're saying it out of your own self-interest, not the self-interest of your friend. And whether we realize it or not, we're doing this all the time. We're doing this with ourselves. We're doing this in our relationships. We have a tendency to manipulate our words and the things we want in a way that benefits us. And so first and foremost, what I really just want to do is personally say thank you and also encourage you to say thank you today to some of the people who you would say are fundamental friends in your life. Fundamental friends. Say thanks to your fundamental friends, because we talk about gratitude, but to really look at the people in your life and cherish and appreciate the ones who stand by you and have stood by you is so important. Like, we need to keep nourishing this garden, if you will, And even if you only have 2 of those people, 1 of those people, 30 of those people, part of what makes these relationships flourish and continue to grow with time and evolution, in my opinion at least, is to honor them and to honor the people who have genuinely seen you for you. Because life can be very lonely, but it also doesn't have to be. And your own work is only for you to do. If you start healing your relationship with boundaries or with your parents, that's on you. No one else can heal that for you. No friend of yours is going to walk in and be like, okay, I can solve all your problems for you. That's just not how it works. Like, you got to take care of the stuff on your end, but to come back to the dinner table and have people sitting around you who go, I love you. You're doing great. What do you need? That is powerful. That is so powerful, to have people who you can grow with and learn from and who are going to ignite you to be the best version of you, regardless of how it impacts them. I always say to my friends, we rise together, right? And we can fall together too, but we really rise together. And I believe that if someone in my life is having all of this success, or in the happiest relationship, or, in their glow of self-work, whatever it may be, that energy will trickle into me and my life. So in the areas that I lack, all of a sudden I have these other resources to receive from. And it's like we're basically putting mirrors up around us in any relationship, in a romantic relationship, in a friendship. It's sort of a way of putting all these mirrors around you and going, okay, what is the reflection that I see? What needs to stay and what needs to change? And that brings me into my next part of today's Monday episode, which is, today I invite you to just filter through some of the friendships in your life and ask yourself, is this the reflection that I want or need? Is this the friendship that is serving me? Because at least for myself, it's been really difficult for me to let people go. And I would say that there is something to learn from everybody, absolutely. But when all of a sudden the reflection that's coming through to you is something that brings you down and leaves you feeling worse than you were before you were with that person, I think that's an important time to reevaluate what that friendship is doing in your life. And maybe you just create distance from that friendship, but we want to be energized by the people we spend time around. And that doesn't need to be like running energy, but I mean emotionally, even if I'm tired after I hang out with my good friends, I feel filled up. Like I feel like my cup is filled. I have this new access to love and to understanding and to joy that I didn't have when I got there. But I think a good test as you just start to think about some of your friends today, and even as you go off over the next 2 weeks and see some of them, is who are the people that after you're with them, your energy goes the other way. You start to become self-obsessive, or you start to become negative or pessimistic. And I believe opposites attract. I do think that's true. So I think that sometimes we need balance, right? We talk about balance all the time. We need someone who's going to balance out, sometimes I'm too optimistic. So then I need a friend who's a little more pessimistic just to even me out. But when I'm with that friend, I don't walk away in this like Debbie Downer state of the world sucks. I just get clarity on something that I wasn't thinking about before. But if you walk away, especially multiple times from a friendship, from a relationship, and you're like, oh, that was draining. Oh, that was so negative. Oh, that just doesn't feel good. That is a red flag. And I think you should just start to evaluate why have that mirror? Because it's two ways. You're giving off some of your energy to them, but they're also giving it to you. And do you want it? Do you want those qualities to be reflected in you? And then naturally in friendships, we also just have the small challenges, the barriers, the fights. Those are normal. Those are friction that I believe just come from human mind, misunderstandings. And even the other day I had a friend I was texting with, and it just it wasn't inspiring me. I was like, oh, I don't really feel supported or heard. I feel like this is sort of a one-way conversation. That's okay. This person probably just doesn't have the time right now to respond to my like essay long text. And I totally respect that. Or they just don't know what to say. And that's cool too. And so I just I just didn't respond to it for a couple days, and great. There's nothing wrong with that. And now the work that I did this morning, or the thought that I had this morning, was like, okay, well, if my reflection is kind of ignoring, that's a me thing. And now I need to take responsibility for the fact that I'm just sort of leaving things up in the air because I didn't feel supported. And we can go through this web time and time again. And the question is really just, at the end of the day, how do we keep those mirrors shiny? How do we keep the people, the friends in our lives who bring out the glow and support us to be in our highest glow, so that even when things get a little muddy and rough, we know that mirror, that base mirror that's there, is one that adds value to this life of ours. And now the last challenge that I'll mention today is it can be really difficult to be the one who sees that and recognizes that when the other person doesn't. And I think it's important just to acknowledge, like, if you're doing if you're listening to this podcast and you're integrating some of these ideas into your life and you start to see any changes and shifts, it's very normal to start to feel slight bits of isolation. I was talking about this with a friend yesterday. He and I are both very creative people, and we're doing our thing, and we're on these paths that we've talked about can feel very lonely at times. And the loneliness to me comes from a lack of understanding. Sometimes it's hard for me to explain in words to people who don't understand what I'm doing with my life, where I'm at, or what I'm going through. And I've come to peace with that. I know that for me, that's just something I need to keep resolving within. I can't seek it without, on the outside. But with that comes a struggle of how do you maintain a shiny mirror with somebody who is still in competition with you? And I don't have a full answer yet. I still work through this. But to me, I would say that if you are still gaining something from your time with this person, if you still leave and something is touched, something is warm, something is activated within you in a way that is useful, and you are able to separate the fact that they just don't have the tools yet to be able to support you in your highest light, that can still be beneficial. However, the moment that that person's need to bring you down, or that person's need to belittle you, to raise them up on a pedestal above you, that's when it's time to walk away. That's when it's time to just say, thank you, I love you, but no thank you, because nobody deserves to sit at a dinner table and then walk away being like, wow, I just got totally just knocked down. You know, nobody deserves to have a friend who goes, I only want you to be successful if I'm going to benefit from it. That's a bad mirror. That's a bad reflection that at least I don't want to be a part of. And I've recognized that in my life, and I've started to cut out and shed the things and the people who don't serve it. And sometimes there's filler people, you know, and that's okay too. Like, there's people who I'm friendly with or I'm friends with from a here and there perspective, but I'm really talking about our close friends, the close circle that we keep around us. I forget where this came from, but there's the thing that they say that you are a sum of the 5 people around you, your 5 closest people. And so who are those people for you? What are the characteristics of those people? What is missing? You know, maybe you need a friend who brings in something that you are feeling a lack of and you want to see more of. And to me, that's where finding people who are opposites from us is so amazing. One of my friends is just, she has taught me self-confidence in a way that I didn't genuinely have it before, because I could see it in her. And rather than going, I want to steal that from you, I went, keep doing you. I want to support your self-confidence. And then I want to learn and just receive that energy so that I can walk around with that amount of self-confidence too. And I have this in so many ways. I have so many different people who bring so much value to my life. And again, I just want to take a moment to thank them, whether they're listening or not. Some of them are, because they're good friends. But it's so meaningful to have that. And my wish for you this Monday morning is that you look at your circle and just start to notice, like, who are the people, who are the mirrors that I should send an appreciation text to, and who are the people that maybe are no longer mirrors that I need to have some space from. Friends are beautiful. Make new friends, but keep the old. One is silver and the other's gold. A circle's round, it has no end. That's how long I want to be your friend. It is Monday. This is Room for Sunshine. My name's Alyssa. Thursday is Ask Alyssa. We got some requests coming in. I'm so excited about them. If you have more, please DM us at Room for Sunshine or send us an email, roomforsunshine@gmail.com. And I'll see you Thursday.